Okay, so I created a new project. When you run Marvin, it's got the new fuse launcher. So instead of using the injector, you can run it with the launcher, and it runs off of the fuse loader, which is the dsound file that generates. The fuse launcher generates an executable, and then I also created a config file in the project. So when you compile all this, it should pop up over here in your file in the bin. You'll have your dsound, let's see, fuse launcher, and then Marvin. Those would be the three you need from here, and they all have to go into Continuum, the Continuum installation. Even the Marvin has to go in there this time. So I changed the dsound so that it won't search other files. It seemed a little bit too confusing where if you had an older version of Marvin somewhere else and then it's like reading that instead, it just seems like it'd be too confusing. So you have to have those three in here, and then you also have to come back and grab this profile data. And this this is everything you need to tell what you're going to run and how many you're going to run, depending on how many you put in here. If you so this will run all of these, and it has to be in this format. It's pretty fragile. Like it's really basic setup, but it will write this name into the profile. It'll write the password you put in the profile. It writes the chat you put in the profile. It won't set the ship. It won't set the windowed mode. I was kind of hoping it would, but I can't get it to do it. And then it sets the zone in memory, but it first has to do a lookup and match the name. So it's matching strings. So this has to be exact. It will work for this, and it works for this. Um, and the zone you put in here has to be in your list already. So after you have that all set up, you have to also copy that over in here. So you'll have that. You'll have dsound in here. The fuse launcher will be in here, and then your Marvin will be in here. It's in here. I just want to refresh. Marvin's in here. Once all that's in here, all you should have to do is just double click the fuse launcher. And it waits. So it does wait. It's waiting for this to jump into the game. And then Marvin is actually writing to a file. So they're both writing to this data file. What it's doing is it's copying the data from this, it writes it to this data file, and then it launches Continuum. Then Marvin reads this data and just writes it directly into its own profile, and then launches the game. Once it's in the game, it'll actually write back to this just like with an acknowledge message so that this knows to that it succeeded and it can start the next bot. I think that's pretty much it.